Greetings, all the Delta 9 travelers. I'm telling you, this picture causing havoc throughout the headlines. Persons are talking about it. People are upset about it. Some persons are optimistic about what's going on, saying, listen, it's an opportunity now for persons to be a part of what's going on in the belly of the beast, for lack of better terms. And now they might have an opportunity to make certain changes. We all think about the picture. Drop it in the comment section. Let's have some meaningful conversation about these implications. Is it a situation where the APNU would have lost a number of great politicians that are now a part of the other side of the political spectrum? Is it a loss for the APNU, or is it an opportunity for the APNU and an opportunity for the MPs as well to serve in a different caliber? What y'all think about it? There's so many aspects to this headline. There's so many aspects to this situation. Is it a situation where persons got Crappo spirits in going with the perspective that would have been presented during the campaign period? Or is it big moves for One Guyana? Is it big moves for the APNU? What do you think about this? Drop it in the comment section. We jump into some of these headlines coming in from different persons in the political space. Right now, we're hearing these headlines coming in right now.
They don't. They get their hoodlums and they get their that class of people who come behind you and get real down and dirty for you to be thick skin in politics. So to those persons that are crossing over, I wish you luck. I pray that you continue the hard work and that you represent those persons that are supporting, have supported, and will support you in the future. We have local government elections that are due later this year or early next year. You're going to see more crossovers. That's a given. You're going to see more persons crossing over. And why? Everybody likes a winner. Everybody wants to be a part of the winning team. Everybody wants, who's in politics, wants to help people genuinely. They genuinely want to help people. How it's done, it's different. Some people go out, do the hard work, and don't expect anything in return. Others, they go, they do some work, but they do expect things in return. And you'll be given stuff. You can be a Ruel, you can be a Alfonso de Armas, you can be an Asha, a Josh, you can be a Daniel Seram. You will get something when you go, once you're prepared to work. If that's what you're looking for, a little posh office, a title that you can help people, you'll get it. And that is your right. That is your right. But when you do get it, please deliver. Please deliver. Now, I saw, I think it was May the 1st, I saw uh, a coming together.
Powerful point being made by one of the leaders of ANOG, right? We all think about the insights that's being presented right there by our brother. He's making some very insightful comments about persons who are crossing the aisle from one political side to another side of the political spectrum. I'm telling you, there's a whole lot of persons making these moves, a whole lot of movement in the political space, a lot of shaking up, a lot of redirecting of political energy. What y'all think about this, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it in the comment section.
Of the opposition. And a lot of persons have always blamed leaders putting themselves first and foremost and not working together because the best chance of any person or grouping getting rid or replacing the PPP is by having a unified opposition. But having a unified opposition is all nice, but you have to have a proper leader. And for the longest while, other than David Granger, former president, there has not been someone who has been willing to unite the opposition or has the pull from all sides. I know the person who can do it. The person's father is diehard PNC or was diehard PNC, but the person also has one foot in, one foot out of Guyanese politics.
Mm, 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 mm. One foot in, one foot out. The father was a leader in Guyanese politics. Who's this person? And we all think about what our brother had to say right there about people moving from one side of the political spectrum to the next. Is it a good? Is it a bad? Is it a win? Or is it a losing situation? Or could it be both? Let's have some meaningful conversation about these headlines right here because other persons are talking about it and they're definitely highlighting some aspects that is important. So I gotta make sure that I update persons right here on Delta 9 Media with because listen, these headlines as we're hearing them right now. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it into the comment section and call it in. Let's have some meaningful conversation about this. Is it a situation where persons got a Crappo spirit? Or could it be? Could it be that is big moves for one Guyana? Moves that we definitely gotta pay attention to. Everybody gotta pay attention to.
The PPC can trust you?
The real movers and shakers of the PPPC will look at you. Did you remember on campaign trail what one of the supporters called them? It was frack spirit or crapple spirit?
Crappo spirit, man. Crappo spirit. The
Crapple spirit.
Yeah, the Crappo spirit.
They're jumping from party to party. Jump if you want, it's your democratic right. But I don't want you all to go with statements as though the APNU did nothing for you all. And I don't want you all to pick up this and run with it as though the APNU is causing this on themselves. Because at the end of the day, this is not a one-man party. And there's no way, like you said, my comrade, you cannot know the hearts and the minds of people. You cannot. You cannot know the hearts and the minds of people. Ultrasound shows you what is happening in the heart. If you get blockage, but you know what? It does not tell you how it feels and how loving it is. And how bright and beautiful and the type of person you are. No ultrasound, no MRI, CT scan, nothing tells you that. You have to born with that heart. And as far as I'm concerned, none of them are leaders. Not one of them. They're not leaders as far as I'm concerned. But today is not for that. Today I'm here to address those who feel to themselves that the PNC and how Aubrey gone left with just he and how the 12 gone left with just Psycho and Dr. Todd and Dr. Terence Campbell and just I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes easy in life. And when things happen to be so free and so natural and so smooth and all it looks so good, you got to look and look and look again and you got to check it out. You got to give them shared eyes. You got to blink and check and look again. Because that is the narrative they're running with, VC. That is the narrative they're running with. Aubrey Norton is chasing everybody. Aubrey Norton is a man just like me. I have my ways and you got your ways and then we all got we ways. But nobody should make you run from a party that you believe in, that you love, that you claim, oh, you grew up, my father and my grandmother and my grandfather and them are dead PNC and it's easy. How can it be so easy for you to leave a party because of words? Not even because of licks?
Powerful conversation, insightful questions coming from persons in the APNU. How come all of a sudden persons are willing to now say, listen, we moving, we doing this, we doing that. And just recently, it was the same persons that was a part of the campaign team. Is this some of the same persons that was undermining what going on within the party since then, and they now getting the reward? Could this be the situation that we're seeing? Or is it something completely different, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it in the comment section. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on within the political realms in Guyana. And we got some more updates, some international updates as well that we can get into. It's a Wisdom Wednesdays right here on Delta 9 Media. And we're getting into some insightful commentary coming from the APNU and other persons, other political actors as well, highlighting their views about what's going on with the picture that's making its rounds, is making persons say, what's going on, anybody? Is Crappo spirit? Or could it be big moves? Big moves for one Guyana. We hear some more of these details.
Because of licks. How can you? You can't test, but I ain't studying at you. Y'all free to go. Everybody free to do what even me. I free to do what I want to do. But I'm talking to these former MPs and all of them were been in the mail and all of them were running up their mouth of farmer and all y'all farmers. You all were a part. You all were a part of the crew that started the destruction of the great PNC. You all were a part of the crew that started the destruction, caused our people to lose hope in us. You all were a part of the crew.
Telling you, a lot of implications if you really think about it, you know. Was it really a situation like Honorable Robin is highlighting, with certain persons were definitely playing certain games for a while? I telling you. If you're looking for an independent way to support Delta 9 Media, one of the biggest and most trending independent media houses presenting content for you in Guyana and the diaspora as well, and you're looking for a way to support your favorite party and represent Guyana at the same time, remember it's a unified front, you know. Everybody unifying and saying, listen, we are part of Guyana and we want to see Guyana remain the way that it is. We want no new border, we want no new neighbor, we want no new conversation about our territory. Just so support independent media, support Delta 9 Media, and be a part of Team Guyana as well.
No matter where in the world, we love Guyana. What are your colors? How do you represent? I love Guyana. Order yours today. We ship worldwide. Delta 9 Media.
One love, one people, the mission complete. One love, one flag, one nation, right? Under the stars, divine presence in the sky. Unity, no one, let the children thrive. Power to the people, we keep hope alive.
Yeah, it's all about what's your color. No matter where in the world we located, we love Guyana, right? So we're going to support and we're going to make sure that we unify as well in that support, saying, listen, well, with what's going on right now in our beautiful nation, right? I'm telling you, As we get some more insights coming in from Honorable Rabin, before we get some more from other persons in the political space.
Who gained positions over people who would have slaved for this party, worked for this party, built this party with their own finances, made major contributions to this party. You all would have gained positions over these very hard people who still stay with this party, who today still standing up for this party. You all would have gained so much. BC, I want you on this life because you mouth boss. I know me on me know you mouth boss more than me. You can't. But for a few, I never want to say that. Don't come out and talk about how PNC dying because you know what? PNC is the party who gave you all positions, your pension. Are you pension? Are you duty free? All the fancy and nice things. We all come and get over stalwarts and hardworking people over this party. Are you coming? Are you get it? And you all get it free, so you all easy to jump and run. And when things don't go your way, you all could walk and feel that whatever little money are you spending the party is big time. Listen, y'all can come for me. Y'all come for me because I have my say too and I have my truth.
I'm telling you, persons are definitely agitated about this one, and those are the views coming in from some of the persons on the ground. And we're going to make sure we bring you all the updates as it relates to what's going on right here with the picture that is causing a lot of havoc right now. We get some more insights coming in from persons on the ground. Big up yourself to Mr. Joel Dotson giving us some insights as well about what's going on with this picture and persons. Do it really represent people that got a Crappo spirit, or is it big moves for one Guyana? What y'all think about it? Drop it in the comment section.
Brothers and sisters, how y'all doing? It was a long time I do a video. How they working, trying to pull through it, as all of us trying to pull through it with the rising transportation costs, food costs, everything going up all the time. You know, public servants in getting the raise, in getting the benefits that they're supposed to be getting. Sometimes I just feel for the public servants, you know what I mean? But this it is, we just gotta bear with you, do what we gotta do. Anyhow, the reason why I'm making this video tonight is to let you know, right, that not everyone that say the for you know. And something you just gotta expect disappointments in life. But God is a part of life. It's human beings you're dealing with. Everybody can do what's best for them. You understand? But I'm always gonna say this. I'm 100% Taurus, buddy. We loyalty up on a different level. You're telling you? Because what we believe in is what we believe in. And if all we jump ship, who can represent the people? How you could talk about a government being corrupt and go and join them and go and stand by them? It means that you hang in your mouth with the soup dropping. You understand? And one thing must always remember, the struggle is not just so we know, it's so we children that come in after we. This is why we do what we do, so that we could get betterment for we children that come in, the generation that coming after us. This is why we fight the fight that we fight in. You understand? So if we encourage the lawlessness, then what example we setting for the youths that come after us?
What example are we really setting for the youths that coming after us, right? If everybody just jump ship, if everybody is just a part of the same level of what's going on the ground. As we can see, there's a whole lot of polite oppression, right? A whole lot of situations where persons are feeling the squeeze. But this thing going on for a while, you know. Delta 9 Travelers, this thing going on for a while. And it's Wisdom Wednesdays. So, you know, we can take the flight at different altitude. We're going to take the flight at a whole different altitude as we analyze just how long this divide and rule thing taking place. Because it can be normal that we find ourselves ever since independence going at one another and can't come together to really progress the nation in a manner that we could really say, listen, this is holistic development. Yeah, I think these persons are just going to release some of the most valuable assets to just roam about and run their own country and all of these conversations that we were taught to believe. But then we got to analyze this thing, you know. We got to look in hindsight as Wisdom Wednesdays. And they say hindsight is 2020. So if we want to make sure we see in this story and understanding what's going on, sussing out what's going on clearly, we got to take a little trip into the history of our colonial masters. Because remember, Guyana was a colony, you know. Guyana was a colony. A colony of who? A colony of Great Britain. So we're going to analyze some of the tactics that these particular colonizers would use when they're colonizing a place in the past. And let me suss out the situation that we're facing right now in Guyana. Wisdom Wednesdays, so we could grasp exactly what's taking place, you know, so we could move forward because we don't want to be one-sided. When one person is playing us against persons that we got to be a part of one nation with, and we're seeing situations present themselves where we even got to wonder, you know, what is really gonna be the next move, right? We analyze these situations and what's really going on in front of the face by studying a little bit of the history. Wisdom Wednesdays.
Looking from afar, it would appear that ethnic conflict, economic inequality, and educational disparities were the factors that contributed to the start of a war which killed an estimated 500,000 to 3 million people called the Igbos or Biafrans. But the truth is, the British colonial government had orchestrated this outcome from the jump. In this war, Nigeria was led by General Yakubu Gowon, and Biafra by Lieutenant Colonel Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Biafra represented the nationalist aspirations of the Igbo ethnic group, whose leadership felt they could no longer coexist with the federal government, dominated by the interests of the Muslim Hausa Fulanis of northern Nigeria. The conflict resulted from political, ethnic, cultural, and religious tensions, which preceded the United Kingdom's formal decolonization of Nigeria from 1960 to 1963. Immediate causes of the war in 1966 included a military coup, a counter-coup, and anti-Igbo pogroms in northern Nigeria. This civil war can be connected to the colonial amalgamation in 1914 of the Northern Protectorate, Lagos Colony, and Southern Nigeria Protectorate, which was intended for better administration due to the proximity of these protectorates. However, the amalgam didn't take into consideration the differences in the culture and religions of the people in each region. This, the British colonialists had intentionally positioned to keep them always coming into the nation's affairs.
You hear though? This was strategically positioned. So they put you in a region where they know, listen, they are always going to get conflict. This is always going to be a conflict amongst them because they have opposing cultures, opposing religious perspectives. But what if these religious perspectives had a key that if we understand it, all these differences that we might see might come to be right in front of our faces as synchronicities, as esoterics about these very same aspects, these very same keys, these very same pathways to understanding our present divinity. We can get into some of these details. It's Wisdom Wednesdays. Let's hear some more about what's going on in the past so we could understand what might be the situation in the present and moving forward.
14 of the Northern Protectorate, Lagos Colony, and Southern Nigeria Protectorate, which was intended for better administration due to the proximity of these protectorates. However, the amalgam didn't take into consideration the differences in the culture and religions of the people in each region. This, the British colonialists had intentionally positioned to keep them always coming into the nation's affairs. Thus, unhealthy competition for political and economic power cannot be avoided. After a pogrom of Igbos in northern Nigeria in May.
So you hear how the programming is going on. You hear how the setup is happening over time, right? They know that, listen, these persons is going to be back and forth with one another. And all you think is just places in Africa, even though we're going to analyze the information and realize that, guess what? India as well was considered to be a part of Africa. But we can get into these details.
In 1967, the Igbo people seceded from Nigeria and declared the establishment of the Republic of Biafra. The British government at this point demanded that Nigeria must stay as one country, despite huge religious, linguistic, and ethnic differences. However, with the help of the British, the Nigerian government would blockade Biafra in order to starve its population. The British government would also be the main suppliers of firearms to the Nigerian army during this war in question. Between 1966 and 1970, more than 3 million of the Igbo tribe were murdered in the Biafran War.
Wow.
Alongside the concurrent Vietnam War, the Nigerian Civil War was one of the first wars in human history to be televised to a global audience. In mid-1968, images of malnourished and starving Biafran children saturated the mass media of Western countries. The plight of the starving Biafrans became a cause célèbre in foreign countries. 3. The Amritsar Mass Execution. The Amritsar Mass Execution, also known as the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, was a tragic event that took place on April 13, 1919, in the city of Amritsar, in the Punjab region of India. The massacre was carried out by British troops under the command of Brigadier General Reginald Dyer and resulted in the deaths of hundreds of unarmed Indian civilians.
So when persons say, oh, it's time for a revolt, it's time for us to take to the streets, might this be a setup? Might this be a setup for persons that have been playing us for so many years, putting us against each other because of our culture, this same culture that we were presented when we came to these parts of the world? Could it be a setup all along? We all think about what we're analyzing. We can get into these details. Let's hear some more about what went down in India. And before we even jump in some more to what went down in India, it's time that we realize, it's time that we realize these esoterics, these things that persons know about we, remember about we, but sometimes we just forget about our own selves. We are actually from the same continent. Originally, we are literally from the same continent if you're analyzing it from a triangular slave trade perspective.
India used to be called, long time ago, Eastern Ethiopia. Everybody knows that, right? No? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. You also probably heard there is a big river in India called Ganges. Okay. To be frank, till 2 years back, I did not know what the meaning of the word Ganges. I simply know Ganges is Ganges. Do you know the name Ganges is one of the strongest and famous emperors of Ethiopia? That's right. Do you think some crazy Aryans would name a big river in India after an African emperor? Would not. Simple logic says that.
So we gotta understand that the history is there to prove our connection. And persons know the history because these were the ones that were there colonizing these nations from since before, setting up certain struggles that would go on for generations. And we can't allow ourselves to just fall into place and be another cog in the wheel, another generation going against one another when we know that this is the case.
The events
right
leading
here.
up to the mass killing began with the implementation of the Rowlatt Act in 1919, which allowed the British government to imprison individuals without trial. This act was met with widespread protests and strikes across India, as Indians felt that their civil liberties were being violated. In Amritsar, tensions were particularly high due to the presence of a large number of Sikh pilgrims who had gathered to celebrate the festival of Baisakhi. So, on April 13, 1919, a large crowd of around 10,000 people gathered in the Jallianwala Bagh, a public garden close to the Golden Temple complex in the city of Amritsar. While some were there to protest colonial laws against public gatherings, others were there to take part in the Baisakhi festival and usher in the arrival of spring. Brigadier Reginald Dyer, who had been sent to Amritsar to restore order, arrived at the scene with a group of soldiers and without warning ordered his troops to open fire on the unarmed crowd. The soldiers fired indiscriminately into the crowd for about 10 minutes until they ran out of ammunition, killing and injuring hundreds of people, including women and children. The massacre was brutal and merciless, with many of the victims being shot in the back as they tried to flee.
Wow.
The soldiers also blocked the only exit to the garden, trapping the crowd inside and preventing them from escaping.
So you hear the details of those past occurrences, right? This situation that happened in India and situation that happened in Africa. So the ancestors of both of the largest so-called ethnic groups in Guyana, right? Coming from the same colonizing set of people, coming from the same empire. Could it be a situation where we would have been bamboozled? They would have put us in a situation to come against one another, to fight generational struggles, when really and truly, we're talking about the same present divinity, but just in a different aspect. We're being torn apart as a nation because we don't truly understand the scholarship behind the foundation of these cultures. The foundation of most cultures is our understanding of who and what God is. So let's get some more of these insights coming in from who? Professor Phil Valentine. Phil Valentine. Dr. Phil Valentine. Check it out. Check him out. Google search his information online and you're going to get some insightful presentations. Big up to the doctor wherever they're right now.
Religion before that. So if you look at the real stories behind what it is these three religions have, they have one patriarch. And who's that? Abraham. But who the hell is Abraham?
Powerful point.
Where did he come from? They're not telling you.
Yeah.
Abraham is Brahma. He's pimped from the word, from the Hindu or from the Bahujan religion of Brahma.
Wow.
Who was Brahma? Brahma was the head god at that time. He had a wife. What was his wife's name? Sarasvati. You take Abraham, you take the A from off of the back end and you put it in the front. You take it and you stick it in there and Brahma becomes Abraham.
Wow.
Sarasvati becomes Sarah, his wife. We've been bamboozled.
Hoodwinked.
So all these years we fighting against one another, making all of these derogatory remarks towards one another. We just needed to learn the esoterics. You see how important it is? The secrets that persons hold in these different Masonic orders and refuse to reveal to the populace so that we could move beyond these very same things that is causing us to continue to need a mediator, continue to need these same political systems that oppress us for generations. We going at one another, oh this, oh that, oh this and oh that. But really, did we study and analyze the esoterics? Man, listen, this is a perfect time for me to show up the advantages that you get when you're a part of Team Delta, We don't gatekeep the information, you know. We just present the information. We just give you the name of the scholar. The person on the page right now presenting this information is Dr. Phil Valentine. He has a university as well, the University of Commission Studies, one of my former professors, right? And I'm going to give you some of the knowledge, some of the connection, a highlight, so that you can, matter of fact, a chart with all of these barcodes on it that is going to lead you to the notebook learning modules. So if you're looking to learn more about yourself as it relates to these topics that are on your screen, scan the barcode right next to it and it will lead you to a notebook learning module with a number of books, articles, and videos connected to the very topic so that you can move beyond certain grafted perspectives that was presented to us that might not be the full understanding, so that we could move beyond these hurdles that is causing we to fight on one another and all of these derogatory remarks about one another's culture, about one another's representation of divinity. Why? It's just the basic things we gotta move beyond, but it's while now, it's years now, generations now, the Gawi and they giving with the okie doke, they giving with the 6 for 9, they making us literally fools with some of these aspects of the culture that they keep, and they give us part so that we're gonna fight against one another. And they do it in the past, you know, so we can't say that it's a situation that never occurred. So we move forward with more of these details.
Oh man, that's dope. I never. Wow. That's dope.
And
That's
you
real cool. Wow.
look at it, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Brahma is what we see as the so-called Jewish or Yehuda, because there was no J. There was EU. That was the name of the god. Then you have Vishnu, which is Christianity, and Shiva, the destroyer, is Islam. They stuck us really good, and now we are caught in this thing where people are defending myths and killing and drawing blood and killing one another over myth.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because we have not raised them to understand that everything that was put down in these books is to teach us how to be better human beings and how to find the spirit within. Period.
Yeah, that's facts. Let me, Bob. I got 2 questions, and then I got a ton of them waiting, but I'm gonna wait till we finish up before I get the Q&A going. But I did want to ask you a couple, because these are things that I've had a lot of debates on, and I'm sure there's a lot of the tribe out there listening too. Where did this thing called Christianity begin? Was it in Ethiopia, or did it begin somewhere else?
Krishna. You have to remember that Ethiopia is Kush.
Okay.
And Cushitic civilization. The Cushitic civilization went east, west, and when it went further east, it became the Indus Kush. So the people of India essentially came out of Kush. The people of the Kemetic Nile came from the Mountain of the Moons, Kush. So Kush had 2 sons. The Romans stole that, and I don't mean sons by males. I'm talking about 2.
So remember what Dr. Adamali was just highlighting about the river Ganges, right? And about India. You see how important platforms like Delta 9 Media is? You see how we're able to unravel generations of division by just understanding the basic esoterics about one another. Make sure you're a part of the team. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it will keep you connected with every single thing that's trending in Guyana and in the diaspora.
8 Butterfly Black Seed, loaded with antioxidants and essential nutrients for your body's needs. Breathe better, feel better, live healthier. All the benefits of black seed oil without the taste. 8 butterfly black seed capsule.
All the benefits of black seed, right? And we know about black seed, we know about kalanji, knows that it has so many benefits, but it's not the best tasting supplement. Why not move beyond the taste and get 100% kalanji, 100% black seed in a capsulated form? 8butterfly.com. Support those who support independent media. Healthy, wealthy always. 8butterfly.com. Let's hear some more from Dr. Phil Valentine.
Sons of the sons in the sky.
Wow.
When you start dealing with religion, you're dealing with beliefs, you're dealing with the anthropomorphization of forces. And the Orishas do the same thing. They call the waters the Oludumare or Yemaya, all these different names that were given to forces, but they anthropomorphized them by putting them into a female or a male form. Because why? It connected us to that force. That force was in us. It was expressing to show us that whatever it is nature did was within us. Whatever it is the animals did, we did. And that's why we revered the animals and made the animals as part of our science. We did not disengage ourselves from nature like this white man did.
Facts.
Why?
Aspects of ourself, aspects of our culture that we got to make sure that we remember. And right here on Delta 9 Media, it's a Wisdom Wednesdays, and we drop in some wisdom on the chat. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it in the comment section. Let's have some meaningful conversation about this and all the other headlines that we would have covered in this presentation. I'm telling you, we got so many pre-recorded. We got so many different headlines that we got to update one another with. Big up to all the travelers, all the frequent travelers, all the new travelers right here on Delta 9 Media. One love, and I will catch you in the next presentation.
One love. Advertise with us, and let's help you promote your next product, project, or event. More than 1 million viewers every month in Guyana and all over the globe. No project too big, no project too small. Delta 9 Media. Let's help your project reach its widest possible audience.